Dovrei mettere una musica di sigla, perché sarebbe il top mettere una sigla.
Esatto. Siamo
Siamo
live?
live! Oggi la mia connessione fa schifo,
Eh,
quindi sono anche
eh,
brutto e laggo tantissimo.
eh. Ah, fantastico. Io ho un'ottima connessione, ma sono brutto lo stesso, quindi va bene
Oh,
così.
cioè, o hai il pene o hai il pane, non puoi avere entrambi.
Infatti, giusto, giusto per citare il buon...
Yes. No, ottimo, a parte
eh,
tutto.
e
Oggi
niente,
è,
quindi...
oggi è mercoledì, quindi Sbiello, noi abbiamo la lezione di inglese, ovvero vecchi che si sforzano di fare i boomer parlando in inglese e sperando di non
Esatto.
sembrare Renzi che parla English o...
Sheesh, my mother cry.
Ok, dai, switchiamo in inglese. Tu stai
Oh,
monitorando lo streaming con qualcos'altro?
no, mi sono dimenticato questa volta. Dovrei?
No, oddio, come vuoi, come preferisci.
Potrei accendere il televisore e togliendo l'audio, al televisore che era acceso, però con lo schermo nero, bellissimo. Allora, vediamo un po'.
Così rischi di uccidere ancora di più la tua
Cosa-
banda.
Ah, questo è vero. Quindi lascio perdere.
Ma come vuoi. Cosa prevede il menu di oggi? Possiamo commentare delle notizie, possiamo guardare una pagina web, possiamo fare i vecchi brutti.
Cosa possiamo fare? Potremmo, eh, non lo so, ecco qua, just chatting con Sbiello. No, non questo. Sto cercando di, sto cercando di vedere un po' e dovrei seguirti, quindi tra i vari canali che seguo, eccolo qua.
And learn English with Sbiallo.
Ok, mi vedo,
Great.
con qualche secondo di ritardo, però mi vedo.
Eccolo.
Ok, con
Ok.
il refocus, ok. So we might switch to English.
Yeah!
Uh,
Let's sing a song in English.
okay. Twinkle, twinkle, little star.
Ok,
Uh, oh, I see you put me in a frame so people won't see the messy room behind me.
it's a good thing. So usually,
Uh,
if you use an overlay or a frame, it
uh,
automatically uh, allows you to seem more professional.
yeah, I agree, agree. So you're quite good with Photoshop and stuff like that, and I try to use GIMP, but oh, I've been trying for years, but I'm not good at all.
It's
It's
quite
like when
easy.
you,
It's something when once you learn how to use any software design program, actually you can learn the basics, and you can switch from Photoshop, Sketch, whatever. They are all the same, so it's not so different. Once you learn one, you learn everything. So the
yeah,
basics is just learn how to use layers and compositions,
mm,
something like that. It's layouts, but nothing more.
mm, yeah, I definitely need to learn that because I want to make my um, YouTube channel look more professional. Yeah. I spent a lot of money on the camera and the lens, also for
Too
lights.
much.
So we use Insider right now.
Okay,
Okay.
I open is I just opened Business Insider just to see if there's some music we can
Okay.
review.
Okay.
So let's see the what we got in the header. And we got Apple is quietly building a search rival to Google ahead of a landmark US antitrust case, according to a report. So, what is your opinion on that? So, what do you think about building a search engine in the nowadays? Is it a valuable
Well,
service? Is it a good business? Your opinion?
Well, well, for sure, only huge corporates like Apple may even think about that. But I think there is a lot of knowledge on Google.
Mhm.
I don't know if Apple can learn how to make an efficient search engine in a short time. Maybe yes, maybe uh, they can hire someone from Google, but they are signing tons of non-disclosure agreements, so they just cannot steal knowledge from Google for sure.
I got a question for you, but it's a very, very simple,
Mhm.
very easy question about antitrust. So, in your opinion, why Google is always in the target of antitrust, but Apple is not? So we're talking about monopoly. They are both big companies, Microsoft, Google, and all the GAFAM. And
Mm.
but if we are talking about antitrust, you got Google and Facebook and Microsoft mostly, but it never strikes Apple.
Well,
Can
it
you?
might be.
It might be,
Mm,
but it actually is not.
mm,
Even if Apple do have a very strong monopoly in the mobile market, but
well,
nobody is complaining that Apple is building its own ecosystem with their browser, with their Google Map services, with their map services.
mm,
Sorry, but we do have concern about Google and not about Apple. What do you think
mm.
there could be the reason about this?
Well, I'm not sure about that. It might be because Google has a even higher market share on mobile phone right now with Android, even though they are not Google is not directly selling the phone. Yeah, mm, I don't know, but do you know Google pays Apple a lot of money just to get Google as default search engine on iPhone, as far as I know, if I can recall correctly.
Yes, that's right, and I totally agree on that. It's business is business. So if you can strike a deal with Apple and you can be in the marketplace or
Uh,
and also in the device, it should be a good reason. But I was wondering, Microsoft got fined with the antitrust fine because they bundle Edge with the operating system. But on the other side, we don't have any kind of issue with Apple bundled Safari with their own operating system. And even though actually the market share of Apple is pretty small compared to Microsoft, the mechanics and the laws are the same. So I can find this different interpretation of the laws depending on the company.
yeah, it could be. I'm not sure why this happens. I I lack knowledge about that, so I don't really know actually.
Okay.
Uh, yeah.
So I score a
And
point with the question. So this is your turn. You can give me a question and I try to answer.
still about the Apple,
Whatever
the
I
antitrust.
can scroll. Okay, I can scroll, but just try
Mm.
to make
Okay.
a
Try,
competitive.
try to scroll because I don't want to stop staring at the lens, but at the camera. I mean. Oh, yeah.
But you keep going, so it's kind of creepy.
Okay, okay. Sometimes my image freezes, and I've seen my me watching the television, so I could see the eyes going. You can see I'm not watching the camera. Yeah, okay.
But if you're watching it straight to the camera, it's kind of
Mm,
creepy because actually you're
mm,
beholding right in the middle of the eye of the viewer. But if
okay.
you are pointing in the upper right corner,
Yeah.
It seems to me that you are lying. So you have to maybe try to see not really in the upper right corner, but maybe in the center of the screen, and try
Yeah.
to not staring at the camera.
Also, yeah. Also, okay. Okay, got it. Okay.
Choose a topic.
So,
Choose a topic.
so, uh, what do you think that? Uh, what do you think about people saying, "Hey, mm, you should learn COBOL since there is a shortage of COBOL developer, and so they have high demand and low offer for low availability of COBOL developer. So you should learn COBOL and get a lot of money. But I think that money is not the only part of the work. What do you think?
It's thank you for the question. It's a very good question. This is a very good starter. I don't have a very preferred language if I think about development, but what you're saying for me it's true because well, money is not everything, but of course is a very big part of the work environment. So depending what you want to do in life, there's a different things that different objectives you can achieve. Sometimes you will maybe you live in a period of your life that you're pursuing money or a different part of your life that you're pursuing happiness. I don't know. For me, well, I'm looking for fun, and if a work is not fun, actually, is not very interesting to me. I never choose something that I really don't like only for money's sakes, but actually, I really try to. I know it's a bit cheesy, but I tend to follow my dreams in the most way possible. But sometimes I do fall into compromise, like anyone else, and this is, I think, it's a necessity. I don't like combo for sure, but I will try to learn something that it's more flexible and more enjoyable for my future endeavor, not only for the sake of the time. So I'm not skeptical about this kind of practice, and I got also some friends that actually did it in the past. But I don't think it's um, affordable in the long run. It wears you down if you don't have higher level objectives, and probably you will get very very boring in the short term. So I don't think it's very good for the health. Only
Yeah,
for the money, but
yeah, I agree. I prefer to look for new opportunities in countries that are paying better compared to the cost of living.
mhm.
Uh, for instance, Berlin has a similar cost, at least according to Numbeo, which is not building a scientific sample,
Mhm.
but I think it gives you an idea. So they don't build a scientific sample, so it's just a survey, which is not a scientific survey because you have no control on the selection of item in the sample. But they say the cost of living in Berlin is slightly lower than in Milan, just a few percentage lower than Milan.
I see.
So and and I think I might in the long run I might double my gross salary. Uh, I think I can double my gross salary in a year.
Really, double. It's a huge number.
Mm.
Or maybe it's easier to double your figures if you're having a low gross margin the beginning with.
Uh,
The
mm.
one thing that is really struck me on Business Insider that a lot of articles
Uh,
are premium, and I
okay.
never pays too much attention on this, but there are a lot of things that are very uh, under the paywall, and it's really
Mm.
bothered me at the moment.
Uh,
So social
yeah.
display. I kind of find that a
Mm.
different, an interesting article to review.
We might have a look on Ars Technica, maybe. I don't know.
Okay, let's see. Ah, we got some delay also on the keyboard. Ars Tech. Let's see on Ars Technica what we
Okay.
have. Drums are all okay. Oh, Google Music.
Okay.
Let's see. We do have in the header the search of secret key. It's not interesting.
Uh,
Google Music Play. Do you use
yeah.
Play Music sometimes in the past?
I, I had the since I bought YouTube Premium, both YouTube Music and uh, Google Play Music.
But
I
did you pay for YouTube Music?
huh?
For sure, for real. Did you pay for YouTube Music, a premium, whatever?
Well, I paid for Premium just to skip all the ads, not having to click
Man, you're frozen up.
a video. Like maybe maybe for
Just skip,
instance,
just for
eh?
skipping advertising, you're paying.
Yeah, for skipping advertising and also playing in background.
And
So then you have
do you have any other benefit from that?
uh, some YouTube production, but they are not that good. So you have
Man,
some
you're so
premium video.
spoiled. So you're paying premium for just for the sake of the advertisement. So I don't really think that that kind of strategy could be successful. So you're annoying people with advertise and you're forcing them to pay. I was very skeptical about this, but actually you are paying for this, so it works. They bother you with
Yeah.
advertise to the extent that you have to pay, and you are paying. I don't really, I can't really imagine how much did you pay? A month, a rent, or it's
12,
yearly, or
12 euro a month.
oh gosh, how much?
Hmm?
How much? 12
12
year.
euros, 12 euros a month.
It's too much. That is definitely too much for just keeping the advertise.
Yeah, but I also listen to music. I should stop Spotify because I can. I also have the music application.
So maybe you're
So
paying both Spotify
yeah,
Premium and the YouTube Premium.
yeah. I should not pay. Well, if I stop Spotify, but I might stop Spotify because I think I should be still able to listen to podcasts.
I
Maybe.
do have Spotify Premium and I love it. It's because it works. It's simple,
Okay.
and you do have a lot of a selection in music and podcasts, whatever. Actually, I do have Spotify Premium family, and I use it with my colleagues. And I know it's not very legal, but it works. There was
Mm.
a time that we do share the same workspace, so it's kind of legal.
Mm.
Uh, but I can never think into switching from Spotify to YouTube.
Mm.
Uh, Only just for the sake of the music.
Mm.
So
But well, of course, if you so if you stop using Spotify Premium, It's just €2 for a month of difference. But well, I have a lot of recurring subscription. I'm paying 12 dollars a month to back up a computer I never power up. Just I should just delete the subscription to Crash Plan. I'm paying $24 plus VAT every month.
You are paying Crash Plan, really? Oh man, it's I do have Crash Plan on my Mac, but it's a company policy. So I do use an Apple capsule for a time capsule for the backup, and I'm pretty happy about it. So it works, and but honestly, I didn't have any chance to make a recovery plan, so I never experienced a failure.
Yeah,
And
I should fix all of these things because I'm also paying for Office 365, €7 a month.
but is that something that your company gives you as a benefit, or is it something you
Well,
pay personally?
well, if I add Windows on my company computer,
Yeah.
I would benefit from uh, Office an Office subscription. Well, I have a company Office subscription, but I'm not using Windows. I'm using Linux because I'm running the legacy business.
Okay, I see. So,
So
do
I
you?
should have hmm?
Sorry, go on.
So I should have two computers, one for the legacy and one for the just for the new business. But then it it would be just intranet application, just one computer just for the internal applications.
Yeah, kind of messy. And
Or
do you have also any other subscription? I mean,
mm,
like media as a service or something like that, like Netflix, like the Disney Plus.
yeah, I should stop Netflix. I'm paying, but actually a friend of mine is using is using it for free.
It is
I give
something that you should never say online, probably.
hmm?
Is it something that you should never say online? Something like this?
Well, I went to visit her and I forgot to log out. Let's say that.
Okay. I still pay for Netflix, and actually I'm pretty enjoyed it. And I do have a subscription with Disney Plus.
Hmm.
It is something I'm not really sure if I want to continue, because Disney Plus it's very limited, and there's no very broad
Hmm.
selection.
And also you will have to pay some of the movies. You still have to pay.
Yeah, sure. And I think this is a very brutal practice. Uh, I found that like unexpectedly. I really like Amazon Prime Video, and a couple of years ago, I never was very fond of all the show they having the Man in High Castle and whatsoever.
Hmm?
But honestly, The Boys, it's a very serious and a very strong serial. And I'm enjoying also one or two small uh, Amazon Prime production. I don't have
Yeah.
Sky. Do you have Sky? Or
No, no, I
Liberty
don't.
or Infinity or Chili, or there are so much
No, no.
content.
I used to have I used to have Now TV until the end of the Game of Thrones, and then
Yeah,
so until just for a few months, and then I made a mistake. They had a ridiculous uh, wrong. it was so unresponsive layout that I selected the wrong one, and they had so bad customer care. They say no, we cannot change
Yeah.
that. They are idiots because I called them just half an hour later. What's the cost to them? Why? You say I made a mistake. Okay, it was my fault, but a horrible experience on selecting that.
And they don't try to fix the problem, so they are just going, this is your fault, and they are leaving it be.
Yeah, they. I think they don't have customer care in mind.
Probably.
I firmly, I firmly, well, they must understand that people are used to the quality of the Amazon customer care. So you should expect that. So I'm expecting. Okay, I made a mistake, wrong purchase. Okay, you don't have to. You're not forced to do that, but then
So,
you're forcing someone to pay something he or she is not willing to watch.
yep,
Why?
yeah,
Why?
probably, but I think the real question is if you having a company where the voices of the customer is something it's aligned to the company objectives. So you do have a very strong vision when you have to build some customer centricity in the company. Maybe you can allow some kind of liberty and degrees when you have to deal with this kind of stuff. But most of the company today are ruled by protocols and guidelines and not principles. So if you do have some employee that has a list of rules, well, your problem as a customer is not their problem. So who cares? And we are talking about three or four big players in the media service company industry. So they do have a very huge stakes in the market. So who cares about you on the other few 10% of people that do have some problems? Probably you will go out from the system, and in a couple of years you're going back to the system. And even if you are not very happy about that, so I think that there's no real very advantage into dealing with the customer service. So I was thinking about Google, that Google doesn't have a customer caring. If you have a problem with Google, actually you are own all your own. You cannot contact in a representative in any way, and that's a choice. It's a choice because customer caring is very expensive.
Yeah, that's why many companies run maybe uh, some Italian companies run the customer care in Albania, hiring people that maybe studied at university in Italy and or maybe in Romania or Bulgaria, uh, in other
I
countries.
a funny part that actually the last year I work for a company like this, and they are providing customer caring as a service. They do have a workforce in the south of Italy, in the eastern Albania, and third country in their countries. But it's a very neat business because actually they're trying to rise the quality of the customer care they are providing to their clients, but it's the client itself that it's not very interesting into any kind of investment in the customer caring. They're just paying for the service, and the service, of course, it's the lower entry point of a market. So it's just
Mm.
a check market that okay, we do have customer caring, but even if it's not very special or it's not very advanced.
Yeah, yeah, but uh, I see. Yeah, yeah, I understand, and I had I had troubles with the major one of the first company in Italy connecting selling optic fiber to the home connection.
But
I'm
it's
not
very
saying
difficult
it.
to guess the name of this
No,
company.
no, it's not. Nobody will understand. I'm talking about Fastweb. But
Is it yellow? Is it?
yeah, of course it is. But I had
It's
some.
not because it's not the first company because you do have a lot of players when you start with with optic fiber in 1999, 2000. You got also NGI that provides.
Okay, as far as they know, they provided a very good ADSL line.
They start for this
Uh,
line for gamers,
uh,
and then they're moving to the fiber. And but of course, the yellow one is the most famous one. So
mm,
I agree with this, and I don't comply.
mm. Sorry for biting my own my own finger, but yeah, yeah. So yeah, so
So you're trying to say
it's
what about the yellow one?
well. I had a weird problem. I had certain websites that had problems with uh, encrypted connections. I couldn't purchase. I couldn't connect to the local public transport website as I had timeouts. It was so weird. I had timeouts with post requests on HTTPS on the ATM public transport website, and they didn't help me. It was I was sure it was a network problem, but maybe some transparent proxy, something like that. They were trying to filter something. At the end, they solved it, but for a while I had this problem and nobody could help me.
I did
Or maybe it
remember.
was just.
I did remember a lot of years ago. I was a fast food client and a Verizon customer, and I did have a lot of problem about the proxy and the firewalls and whatever. And I'm so frustrated about this that I tried to change a provider, and I went back to DSL.
Oh, that's actually at the beginning the download rate was lower than the upper limit of copper.
Really? I was in the center of
Mm.
Bologna and the speed was blazing fast, but I was paying a lot for a month.
Well,
But it comes to me that 2 months or 3 months later, I I finished my download list, and actually I was pretty stuck about that, and I don't know what to do with my fiber. So it's too
yeah,
much for playing, too much for downloading anything.
uh, I agree. Well, I have 1 gigabyte, but I never, almost never connect with. Well, with my work computer, I connect with Ethernet, so gigabit Ethernet, so I can maybe leverage the whole bandwidth. But actually, I did the speed test, and in the middle of August when they installed my line,
Mm-hmm.
so it was quite different. Nobody was in Milan. Now I don't know how fast it is. Well, it's fast, but
Not that.
not that fast.
So
Was
you were already in Milan.
hmm?
You were already in Milan when you started with the
Optic
optic
fiber.
fiber, yeah.
Well, no, I had the 10 megabit optic fiber in 2014,
Mm-hmm.
2004, sorry, 2004 in Milan. And then when I moved to sorry, in Bologna, I was close to the Sant'Orsola Hospital.
Yeah.
And in 2004, you could have a 10 megabit optic fiber. and then I left Bologna. Well, I went to other apart. No, I went to other apartments that were equipped with ADSL.
Yeah.
Uh, and then when I moved to Milan, I found a 100 megabyte connection with Fastweb still. But the interesting thing, I had the mobile phone in the meanwhile. So I closed the when I closed the optic fiber, then I then a few years later, maybe 10 years later, I switched to Fastweb for the mobile phone,
Yeah.
and they kept the username and password. But then when I wanted to just change uh, the owner of the line, they made me a new account, and it happens so often. I don't understand why carriers sometimes cannot merge the. You say, I have this customer number. Please give me a line. Okay, we can do that. Okay, no problem. We will be here in maybe I don't know 2 days. So they were very quick in August. They came in 2 days, and at the end, okay, everything is fine. This is your customer ID, but it's not the same.
But who cares? Because you're just a number. So they try to create new accounts just to inflate the figures about the customer. Have you had the chance to see the new PlayStation? Maybe, well, it's huge. I was looking in comparison with the new Xbox and Xbox. I don't like the shape of any of them, and but man, the PlayStation is very big. It's the same
Well,
size of a desktop PC.
oh, well, I'm not into consoles, unfortunately. Uh, I'm not a gamer actually. Mm,
Man,
Even
it's
though I don't know why. Because I think because
because you can't
mm,
cheat.
eh?
Because you can't cheat on a console.
You cannot cheat. No.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's difficult to cheat. But it's different from a PC.
uh. However, I didn't. Well, with the 10 megabit connection, we were hosting all the matches, of course, and I had my roommates playing a lot of Call of Duty. I don't know what Call of Duty was trending 16 years ago, but
But I
yeah.
found very difficult to play with the joypad, and actually, I'm still a player that using keyboard and mouse,
uh,
and
uh.
performance is striking differently.
I tried to use a joypad just for one game, which is called Call of Salvini. Do you know that?
I I read something about this and it was fun.
You have to throw uh, scrapers. I don't know.
So what do you mean by scrapers?
Well,
Leftovers.
I'm trying to translate.
Rubbish
Okay,
scrapes
the
or
uh, bulldozers.
okay.
Yes,
Rose pass.
exactly. So, what? So in the game, when you saw the Facebook icon, you should uh, press the populism, and it starts. So the game is you are Matteo Salvini, and you have to save. You have to go to India to save La Torre and Girone. Yeah. And you have also other characters like Beppe Grillo, Mario Dinolfi,
Oh man, Adinolfi.
and
I was wondering where
so
is he?
I don't know. I think he is so irrelevant from a politic point of view, but making so much noise that the I think he is actually trolling the LGBT community
Yeah, for sure.
because no or I think he irrelevant at all if well he is quite annoying because he says all these Catholic things about let's see sexual orientation, family, and so on. But
Uh,
nobody him actually. So they're giving him spotlight, and he doesn't deserve it at all. Nobody cares about him. But well, except for their opponents.
I don't like to talk about religion or politics openly with people. It's very bad for business if you're talking about this in a professional environment. So I try to
Okay.
avoid any opinion about this.
Well,
And it happens
but
to me on Facebook, for example. I do have a lot of friends or professionals that I met somewhere sometime, and I do have a lot of respect from them until I knew their political view, and that's changed everything. Also, if you do have a lot of respect for someone that actually is commenting on COVID or whatever, and change your point of view on this on them,
uh,
and it's very uncomfortable.
yeah, I agree. I agree.
It's funny
Uh,
that the last time we talk about building your own PC and whatever, and how the hell a graphic card is pricing right up to $999. Is isn't this too much?
I don't know. Since I was, people are willing to pay much more for having the same card on a Mac Pro. So no, I don't know if it's the same card. I hope they have better cards, but you told me that if I even if I buy a MacBook Pro, I won't have that hardware feature to speed up OBS Studio.
Yes,
Correct?
exactly, correct.
Mm.
I'm not really sure if a Mac is today the best choice you can have, unless you want a very stylish chassis. I would rather wait for the ARM version of the Mac, which is
Mm.
kinda expected to be launched on the 15th of November, I think. So it's not that far. So just 15 days from now, maybe you can see the
Mhm.
announcement, and probably it will start for the Christmas
Mhm.
time.
Mhm.
But I'm very excited about this. It's something different, something new in
Mhm.
years maybe.
All right. Well, I don't think I would buy an ARM one for now, but
Are you
well,
skeptical? Why?
mm, I still want to. I'm afraid about old software. Will it work? Will
It will, for sure. It's the same software architecture of an iPad, and if you do have an iPad version, you will do have the same app on the Mac.
I got it.
It's a huge
Uh,
advantage. And I
and what's the advantage? Is it just for power management or?
that's an advantage, but you do have a very huge library of application that are already optimized for high resolution and touch, I think. So the real groundbreaking is probably having a touch screen on a Mac, which is
Yeah.
unfortunately something that I wish for a very long time.
Mm. Well, I've seen many computer with a touchscreen. I tried to use one a few years ago, maybe even 6 years ago, and it was a Dell, but I couldn't understand if you cannot keyboard behind.
I use this,
Okay.
and this. Sorry, this is not a tablet. This is an external monitor
Okay.
with a touch screen,
Okay.
and I use it with the Mac, with Windows. It's very comfortable, and I use it for like a second screen if I
Mm.
have um, a conference or a meeting, or I want to watch a movie when I work. It's very comfortable to use the touchscreen as a tablet. But of course, the drivers are very, 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 very immature, and it's very difficult to operate with a touch. There's no native drivers.
Mm.
You have to use a workaround. There's a lot of problem.
I see. Yeah, that's. I was having a look at the chat room, but nobody's there.
And this is a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah, so nobody
Yeah, but
will listen to
I
us.
will I use this just for recording for history's sakes, and maybe 2 years from now we will going back and see when we started, and
Well,
let's
wait,
see if we do have some improvement in our English.
I think you have to download the lives because after six.
Oh, you're breaking up. Okay, you're going back.
Oh,
Yes, it's
okay,
after live. I used to export them in YouTube.
okay.
So unless YouTube do cancel your recordings from time to time, actually they will be stay there.
Oh, okay.
It's depending
So
on the
will
Google
this go to
policy.
YouTube?
Yes, sure.
Will this-
I used to pay for Google for Business, so most of the time I try to use shared drive to archives all the media and all the stuff I use
Mhm.
to live to stream with my other channel. But starting from the next month, Google for Business will close and became Workplace, and they cap the limit of the space that you can use as a subscriber.
Mm,
So today, if you are a Google for Business client, you can do whatever you want. You have infinite space, and you can upload everything and whatever you want.
mm,
And starting from the next month, you do have I think it's 2 terabytes of limit,
mm.
of space limit
For the whole workspace?
for the whole workspace. Yes,
Oh, I got it.
it's not too much,
Yeah.
2 terabyte, and I'm very unhappy about this.
Are you talking about the free version, which not
No, no, I'm talking about the paying version.
is not
I'm talking about the
subscriber?
paying version, and
Okay.
it's a bummer. Google
Mm.
Workspace.
Because I have some free business email, but I cannot even change the domain at point because it was a free account, so I cannot.
It's
It's
formerly
still.
G Suite. And if you see the pricing of, I very hate this kind of stuff. It's very bad thinking. What the hell is the
Mm,
pricing?
mm,
I cannot see the pricing. I mean, I'm comparing price plan.
mm,
So it was the real deal that if you
mm,
were on the business starter here,
mm.
you will have before infinite space, and now you do have 30 gigs for user.
Okay.
And if you're
So.
going to the business standard, which I currently having, you got only 2 tera of cloud storage. Everything else is becoming this. As much storage as you need on the enterprise version. Is it is becoming very expensive, Google.
Yeah, so
So if you're paying $20 a month, you only have 5 tera, which is not that much if you think. If you're a content creator, it's not that much.
I agree. I have a personal. I have a free NAS computer here, but it's. I made some mistakes when building it, and I don't know how to fix it right now because I just built a mirror with two similar disks,